And thank you everybody else for being here. I appreciate the turnout. This is where we're kicking off the campaign, and I am the Republican candidate for District Attorney. I am Arthur Medley, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. As Don indicated, I guess I should stay close to this because I don't want to get away from your mic. Appreciate it. I feel confined, I'm sorry. I'm used to being in the courtroom and being able to walk around and talk to my jury, but I'll try to stay here. Tina and I were looking for a place to raise our family. We had 3 children when I graduated from law school. And we had lived here in Dothan before. And we felt that this was the kind of place that we could raise our family. We liked the community, we liked what it had to offer, and we were happy to come back here. And we still feel that way. And in working in a community, you got to give to your community. And that's how you make it a good community. And that's what I think the Office of District Attorney is about, is trying to contribute to your community and making things better for everybody. In the course of living in the community, I've done things. I've helped out my children and raising them, just trying to be a part of their lives. But I've been a football coach. I've been a soccer coach for boys soccer and for girls soccer. I'm working with softball now. And like I said, it's not supposed to be about the statistics or simply conviction rates, but what can you do to help your community? And that's what I want to do. I think this office should go a step further and be contributing to the community and doing things on the front end, helping invest in programs that will help avoid crime, help eliminate crime, because what better way to serve a victim than if you never had a victim at all? So that's where I'm coming from. And I want people to understand that as your district attorney, victims will have a voice. And when I say that, I mean not just a voice when you agree with me, but a voice in every one of your cases. Because if you're a victim, if you're in our system, I'm not here to victimize you again. And let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about. I was involved in a case a few years ago, and it was a child case of sexual abuse. And these are horrible, horrible cases. And we have to be hard on these types of cases. That's part of protecting our community. But I had a victim in that. And my victim was 9 years old at the time that we had trial. But there were 3 co-defendants. And instead of consolidating these cases and having one trial so that that little girl only had to testify once, a decision was made to have 3 different trials. And she had to testify 3 different times in front of 3 different judges and in front of 3 different juries. And why? Because you could get 3 times the press coverage. One of the things that you've all probably seen is drug dealers' cars. They can be seized by the state, and you see law enforcement use them. They get painted, and you'll see little logos on them contributed by your local drug dealer. It's a great program. But those cars are also available to district attorneys in their offices. So why not use those cars? If it's good enough for law enforcement, it's good enough for me. I don't need a car and an SUV at my house for my personal use. Those are the types of things that I'm talking about, financial responsibility. Along those same lines, everybody's heard about the pretrial diversion program. Pretrial diversion could be a good program, but it's got to be applied equally and fairly. It's supposed to be something to help our community. So we need to come up with a way to make it more available. It's not supposed to be about buying justice. It's supposed to be about helping people, first-time offenders, who maybe they don't qualify as a juvenile or they don't qualify for youthful offender status. Then we have another program, and the purpose is to help them get some direction, get them on the right track, and avoid future crime. That's the purpose of it. So I'm here to tell you that has to be applied equally. And that's my promise.
That's right.
Okay? But that program does create funds, and it goes into a discretionary fund for the district attorney. But let me say this, it's right part and parcel with the financial responsibility. Those funds that it generates are supposed to be for Houston County. What's generated in Henry County is for Henry County. What's generated in Houston County is for Houston County. Not to be spent elsewhere around the state, but right here. It came from our community, and we have to spend the money back in our community. And you say, well, Arthur, what are you going to do with this kind of money? You say stuff and it's a concept. Well, I have more than a concept. It's my understanding that, and understand that my opponent is a long-time incumbent. He's been there for over 20 years. But before him, I understand that the district attorney's office used to pay the registration fees for the Boys and Girls Club so that the kids get into that program. And these are the type of programs that I'm talking about that we front end. We support programs like this. We give kids something to do in the community, and we help the community. And if they get some structure and they have some guidance, then maybe they stay out of trouble. And that goes to what I was talking about before, is maybe we never have a victim. But take those pretrial funds and fund programs like this. Now, I've not talked to Kelvin Hardiman directly about it, but I know Kelvin runs a program right here in town for Big Brothers. He runs a house. Programs like that. I worked with Kelvin when I was in the Young Lawyers Association. Been a few years now. But I worked with that, and I worked with him, and I saw his program. Those are the types of programs that I say we help in our community. If I ever had a question as to what the law was, let me assure you this. I won't sit around for 2 years and do nothing. I won't stand around and refuse to see processes being certified when I'm invited and continue to do nothing. And I won't call in a task force behind closed doors into our community.
Come on now.
Part of enforcing the law is making sure that it's applied. And if I really had a question, let me assure you, as your district attorney, I'd immediately file for a declaratory judgment. We'd get an answer. Or I could simply present it to my grand jury. But the bottom line is, if we had a question, we would get an answer, and then we could move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Republican candidate for district attorney. I appreciate your support and asking for your votes. But please rest assured, I'm asking for your vote because you know that I will enforce the law. No matter which side the law comes down on, no matter what the issue is, I will enforce the law. My incumbent, or my opponent, the incumbent, is counting on you on being passive. He's counting on you not to get out and vote. So I'm asking you now, whether you vote for me or you vote for him, or however you vote, I'm asking you to get out there, get registered, and do vote. Thank you very much.